and the pond's right in front of my house, so if my driveway, if it's.
Good evening. What the heck date is it? It's the 20th day of February,
So I thank God it's facing the way it is.
and I'm not going to disappoint anybody on this day.
No,
In 1814, the Treaty of Ghent was signed, ending the War of 1812. So I'm not going to disappoint anybody with my usual blustering here. I'm not going to apologize. How life is life. First world problems. You know, they did the extension down to Bloomington, Evansville, blah, blah, blah. It's great unless somebody has a wreck. And this time last Wednesday, I was stuck between here and Bloomington, my other gig. I have to pay for most of my bad vices I have, so that's where I was. So we'll get some things done tonight. As I told people, we're the fun group. We have a couple of new folks. I want them to stand up, please, and talk into the microphone. You know, who are you, and talk to the folks.
Go ahead, Robert. Yes, please.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Robert White. Been a longtime resident of Lawrence since high school. Graduated from Lawrence Central High School.
What year?
Class of 1998.
Class of 81.
Right on.
Yeah, we have the same principal signature, I think, close to it. Either Caroline or God dang it, or Ed Fried. One of the two signed signed here. Yep, one or the other. So, yep.
Absolutely. 10-year Air Force veteran. I separated in August of 2008 and returned back here to Indianapolis, where I currently reside in the same home when we moved back off of 75th and Oak Landing. Looking forward to joining and serving at the pleasure of this group.
You'll have fun, but don't be bashful.
Yes, sir.
Find ways to make us better. That's the only thing I ask of you. The only measure, I know, according to state statute, we're divided among party lines, and anybody knows me, party lines, especially Tom Burns know, party lines mean nothing to me. If you got ideals, concept, things that needs and the like I said, I'll reach out to you. We'll have conversations for needs that you see that we need. I'll never say no. I'll never say yes out of the box. So you always have to remember that. Mrs. Dunn?
Hi, I'm Jessica Dunn. I have lived in Lawrence since 1997. We moved here when my daughter was 2, in particular because of the excellent school system. And so I am very pleased to be on the Park and Recs Board. I was appointed by the Lawrence Township School Board, and I have 3 children. Mackenzie and Gavin are graduates of Lawrence North. Yes, indeed, they are lucky enough to have known Mr. Vest. My son Gavin
better, for worse.
actually ran cross country for Coach Vest. And then my youngest daughter will be a Bear this fall. So following in Mr. White's footsteps. And I live right over here at Fort Benjamin Harrison. So when the weather gets a little nicer, I'll just walk on over. So very excited to see how we can improve and enhance the relationship between the school district and Parks and Rec. So thank you for having me.
Thank you all. Always good to have new blood on board here. So we still need to do the election of officers, correct?
Finish.
Secretary.
Okay,
Yeah, we
secretary.
took the president and the vice president.
The review, for the record, president of the board still remains,
You.
and I get a $100,000 pay increase. Vice president,
Where's my pay?
Mr. Burns. Secretary, I would entertain motions for secretary of the board of the City of Lawrence Parks and Recreation.
I would nominate the Honorable Helen Taylor.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Helen, you're stuck with us. And like I said, me and Tom and myself, Eric D., yeah, we are the barnacles of City of Lawrence. So there you go. God bless all of you. Let's make it happen. Real quick in the board comments, I took several emails and the like about why we were cleaning parks, parking lots, and the like. And we also took some hits because we didn't clean our trails, and I bugged Eric about that. And that's going to be an issue. First, let me address cleaning the new trails we've created in Lawrence. Our staff is very tiny, and as the new members will understand, Eric, how many parks do we maintain?
12,
And how many maintenance folks do we have right now?
4.
4. People still, we have a bark park that folks want to walk their dogs. We're not North Dakota. We don't get a foot of snow. We get 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. They still want to take their dogs out. We've got to clean those parking lots. Gin Park still gets rented. The community center on Franklin Road still gets rented. The activity center still gets rented. So as Parks Board members, if people ask why we're cleaning those, people still have had paid obligations to use those facilities. And those trails, I call it the new members will have to understand my lingo. We have the short trail, which is within Lee Road Park, and then the extension of that goes down 65th?
63rd.
63rd Street. That has to be cleaned. We don't have, that's not a choice. And then eventually, when we take on the long trail, the next level of trails that goes out to Fall Creek Road, just, you got to be kind to them, but folks have paid to use these facilities. So when somebody asks, why are we cleaning these parks areas? And Eric, what other areas besides parks facilities do we?
We do the government center, we do the police station, we do the utilities headquarters, we do the shooting range, Heartland Films, the theater, cultural campus.
Just make people aware that there are obligations that we have, not only as a city, these are, and it keeps the lawyers away. We don't, and I know, I still am at LN every day of the week. They salt the entire asphalt jungle known as Lawrence North. It keeps the lawyers away. And as you know that makes it sunny and 70 wherever the hell you're at. So I just want folks to understand that. So that's the only thing I have there. Does the board have any other comments, questions for Eric?
Yeah, I was wondering about the recreational kind of activities that we talked about, like flag football and that kind of thing. Are we? We're working on that, yeah. Roman's here, and he started the things with the senior population, the golden hours, and then we've got some issues with softball for our rec softball that we host. Looking at that, so we've got some expansion to look at,
Yeah,
and we've had discussions about that.
Yeah, 'cause I noticed in the Indiana Youth Institute report, 3/4 of the kids don't play sports or get even an hour of activity a day.
Really,
And when you look at that report, I read through that thoroughly on Tuesday. What the hell day is it? It's Thursday, Tuesday. Rural populations, and what I call the harder urban populations. I taught, and you taught, forever and ever. Generally, the difference between the two populations are race. And it really is. I'm Worthington, Indiana. You go to Worthington, Indiana, we have the same issues of opportunities as they have at 42nd and Post. The difference is they look like me or they look like you. But Lawrence Township, thank you, Ms. Dunn, we afford kids who of any flavor have an opportunity to participate. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
what was that report, Tom?
Indiana Youth Institute.
Yeah, IYI, they
It
are,
just came out this week, I think.
yeah, they give a report of children in Indiana. Of course, Indiana ranks in the bottom 10, not shocking. That's just the way it is. We want you to have the kids, but after that, you're on your own. That's a political statement. I don't care if I offend, but that's just the way it is.
One thing I'd like to see is more opportunities for kids that aren't
Yes.
that competitive.
Yes.
Because we do pretty good with the competitive kids, and because the parents tend to be pretty competitive.
And that was the issue with, OYO, the travel baseball, and you're paying $1,500 to play travel baseball, but they used to have the travel league kid. FC Pride has done a pretty good job for having in-house league soccer. They've done a nice job. I know our friends at Fall Creek are kind of stuck in the middle, but, football, everything's got to be travel and the like. The IHSAA just recognized ladies flag football is going to be a sport. And LN had a great flag football. We have a great flag, ladies flag football. Not everybody wants to play for a damn trophy, and I've coached 43 years. Every time I go out and coach, I want to win a trophy or get kids all state, but I've also been around 43 years. Understand not every parent or kid is going to get a full scholarship like I did to run or be competitive, but yes, I agree.
Yep, yep. And I think we just need to take another look at that and make sure that we're providing as
Yep.
many opportunities as possible.
Just
I
for,
know we have a limited budget to do those things with, but anything we can do along those lines, I think.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Coordinating with the schools and coordinating with the Y, I think would, we've got the personnel now to do that. I
Yes.
think that we need to take a look at that kind of thing. What can we do there? But- So hopefully, I'd like to bring back something maybe
Yeah.
next month or so to see where we are on that.
We'll continue our discussion on that, and we'll bring that back to the board and let you know what we, I know Roman has priced equipment and some other things, so.
And part of that is so media driven. These kids see what's in the media. These 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that are already playing travel ball, and they're the next Nolan Ryan. I'm showing my age here. Nolan Ryan or Michael Jordan or whoever, and they're going, you got some kids that just want to go out and kick a soccer ball or hit a baseball or,
Well, activities become.
Yeah.
You develop a habit of doing
Yeah.
things and being active.
learning to put the damn cell phone down, get away from social media. Social media will be the death of us eventually. I firmly believe that, regardless of what your opinions are. So if we don't,
Helen had something.
go ahead, Miss Helen.
Well, I just wanted to ask Roman if they're gonna increase that golden hour more than an hour, because there's been a couple of folks said that they would come. There's a little distance for them to drive if it lasted longer than an hour.
Is that the senior program?
Stand on up there, Mr.
On
Roman.
Thursdays at 11.
So yes, I've heard from the people who come to the Golden Game Day, they've stressed that to me as well. So I have looked into that, but right now I'm focusing on I'm getting more partnerships to come in and work with the seniors. But yes, that I do plan on extending those hours, and right now we're working on a fitness class for those seniors as well.
I like that.
So doing chair aerobics.
There you go.
So we're working on a lot of things for that population. So as it moves forward, I would 100% extend that time so more people can join. Absolutely.
I'd like to see that.
Yep.
I think that would be very good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, so it'll be the second Friday for the fitness class from 11 to 12.
The second Friday.
Second Friday of each month, starting March 14th.
Mr. Roman, because I know, is our health relationship with Community Health Network?
Yes.
And I don't know, come on down here, maybe we can coordinate. I hate to use the word geriatric, geez, OP, because I'm damn near being geriatric. And
Yeah, they call, some lady called me elderly the other day.
geez, that hits me right where I live. Go ahead.
So, one of Mayor's big initiatives will be a health initiative, right? So there's gonna be an announcement soon at our State of the City address, and with that, we're also gonna do a health fair. So in April, we're gonna do a health fair that will hopefully involve a bigger sponsor and a bigger partnership with someone like Community Health,
Okay.
IU Health, Ascension, somebody like that. That, we have gotten a sponsorship for the fitness program, that's paid for, so they've paid for the instructor to come out until December. So from now until December, they've already made that payment.
Okay.
And they also called us back and are sponsoring us for $6,000. So they're giving us $6,000 to program, senior programs for our community. So we're trying to do some bigger and better things. And so maybe extend the hours of game day. Roman has gotten in contact with people who want to come and volunteer. So we would love to see the numbers. If the numbers will continue to grow, then we would definitely want to grow, make it last longer. We've had Centerwell come out and sponsor a game. When they come, they do but they do have some Price is Right. And so
Price is
they
There
had
you
to
go.
guess the prices from 1985 to today, and then they would get a prize, and it's usually like a toiletry or a laundry detergent, things like that. So they've come out, they're committed to once a month.
Yeah.
And then Helping Hands comes out, who is the company that actually made the sponsorship. So they've come out quite a few times. They'll bring lunch, they'll play games with them, that type of thing. So Roman's also asked, like, what else do you want to do? They've want to do like arts and crafts. So we've been talking to Arts for Lawrence about that as well.
All right, good, good. 'Cause Eric, we're real close to being
Well, I can join.
a year behind you. Never thought I'd be sitting here doing that.
I don't want to create a lot of extra work, but could you write some of the things down and?
And share, I think,
So we
when I,
help us be able to.
I'm not saying it's not a problem, but I think it's been the problem of this department forever. Some of the best hidden gems and secrets we have not been really pushed out there. It's called screwing up in reverse. Share it with us. Because I know Roman's working hard, and Jamie, I know you are. Let's get it out there harder and harder, the best we can.
We welcome any ideas.
Oh, God, yeah.
Roman has gone to most of the senior living communities and tried to get in that way and dropped off flyers, and so
And if,
we post on social media, all of that, so.
And if you have any idea of what you think could work or fly, these two youngins here, when you're a lot younger than I am, you're young, and their ears are as big as anything. They're willing to listen and will work with you. So if you know connections and partnerships, don't be bashful.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I think the Golden Hour game is brilliant,
Oh,
and
it's
so
great.
very well done. I wonder what kind of opportunities, as we're thinking about the school district, to have students participate and do service learning. I don't know, obviously, every week might not be feasible, but I am wondering if we could explore some opportunities in that realm, or even with the arts and crafts, with some of the
Even after-school type of
after
tutoring.
school. I think that
Yeah.
there could be some real synergy around having the youth, and also could learn a lot from some individuals who are veterans, not elderly, but veterans, that can provide a lot of insight into life for young people.
Because I know we already have had older folks, I'm an older folk now, that have gone and read and tutored in the school, but it's not always available within the school, but after-school opportunities, it didn't have to, it could be in the school, it could be at the, I know Heartland has been willing, a community center, but to include, older teachers, retired teachers, and myself, who would be willing to go in either to read, to tutor, and like you just said, you have veterans, give a, to sit down, why is Fort Harrison? It's called Fort Bend, but why is it called Fort Bend type of things? And I think those are opportunities that I think our, especially our elementary schools, are in dire need of. You want to, your community identity, where am I from, type of thing. And we have a unique identity here in the city of Lawrence. For better or for worse, we're identified as being Fort Benjamin Harrison since 1902. So I think that's something maybe to explore. Ms. Dunn, who would be a good someone to reach out to, and I should know. That's why I'm bounce passing to you.
Right, so that's where I think, Roman, maybe you and I can connect, and I can determine who the best point contact would be. I can talk to the superintendent to see where we might explore that, because I'm also thinking with Mackenzie Career Center, for example, how some of the students participate in going out into the community for jobs and other things, but also could we enhance with volunteerism, especially those service learning projects with the older kids.
Because especially with the new, diploma requirements and the like. So we're just giving you more things to do.
Just to piggyback on that a little bit, and I love how you instituted, the synergy of learning with the youth and our senior saints. That's what I call them. I don't call them elderly. But
Thank you.
I'm-
Tom, Helen, Eric, and I are very thank you.
The wiser generation.
There you go.
I was curious if I could back up a little bit on transportation and knowing seniors and like silver sneakers and these scenarios. We have the Y right in our backyard. I know you have a senior center as well, and there could be some collaboration there. I was just curious if we had any internal transportation to make sure our seniors could get the benefits at the YMCA also.
What do you mean, get their benefits at the?
I'll give you an example. You go like to a Muncie, Bloomington, they have their own, with internally their own transportation system, but would you focus it on
Seniors.
silver citizens?
Active older adults.
There you go.
So being a former Y employee, a lot of Ys, not ours, in our association, they actually have a transportation department that they will go out and they will bring their active older adults to the Y. They also take them to medical appointments, that type of thing. As a city, we don't have that. I will say Helping Hands, who is our sponsor, that is what they do. They transport those who are not capable of transporting themselves to doctor's appointments. They've talked about using their transportation modes to bring people to Golden Game Day, which we're gonna change the name because it's not just games anymore. But,
I like what you said.
we don't have that here, and I don't know that we have it in, not that I don't know. We don't have it in our budget right now to provide something like that. But we're open to partnerships. with
There you
people who
go.
will do that.
I like what you said there, because we have we have an obviously aging veterans population here, but just an aging population. I like what you said there, is find an opportunity to get older folks to activity here, get them involved more. I think that would be a great charge. You're going to have to wave your magic wand, Jamie.
I don't have that kind of one.
Well, yeah, you have a wand, I know you do. I've seen your wand, and it can work, but I think that would be something to pursue some way.
Again, we're open to the partnerships, like,
yeah.
I know, maybe we can partner with Indigo, I know that they have.
Thank you, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
So, but to your point, Mrs. Dunn, we have tried, we have an intern from Ellen. We have, Roman has been in contact with somebody from Faulkner
Get some
Valley who's
folks
trying to bring us several, volunteers for our cleanup day. We have, reached out to volunteers in other ways as well, with response, and then it stops. And so I don't know what else I need to do.
I didn't
Well,
know-
and that's where I'm hoping, because that's one of the things that we talked about when I onboarded, is how I can hopefully act as a liaison to strengthen that partnership, because it's just, it's a natural partnership and one that I think could be beneficial for so many reasons. So I will do everything that I can to help facilitate that.
We might need some transportation though.
And like it's,
You have transportation for me?
and we have plenty of short buses in MSDLT. That's a partnership, a transportation partnership.
Yep.
That, I'll turn you loose on with our transportation director and the like, is to find folks during the day, just, we're transporting kids, but let's transport, and I think that shows the older folks, 55 and over, this is your tax dollars. On one hand, we're educating youngins in one hand, but on the other hand, hey, we're going to transport you where you can enjoy a day out in the community, and you're on an MSDLT-owned property. I don't know how it works. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV, but I think that would be an opportunity for us to build a stronger relationship.
Jamie, did you say that some Ys have transportation programs, but ours doesn't? Is that right?
So there's 13 Ys in the Indianapolis area, all under one association. Ours does not, but there are others in the state that do. I know, like Peru, they have a Y, and they have a transportation department.
Is it tied with the Y, or is
The
it?
YMCA, not our Y, so the YMCA in Peru
Okay,
has
I
a
didn't know the city of
transportation
Peru.
department
Okay.
in which they will go out and get their active older adults and bring them to the Y. They have it scheduled, they will take them to doctor's appointments.
Oh, wow.
When I've met with these people, they've actually brought them from like Peru to Indianapolis for doctor's appointments. So it's a massive transportation department. It's not something that
Our
when
budget
ISF,
can handle, yeah.
YMCA of Greater Indianapolis could not do that.
Yeah.
Times change, it's been almost a year, so I still don't think that they can do that, but that department, they had partnerships and raised money, and they're able to maintain their transportation.
Is the city county councilor still, is she the executive director at the
She
Y?
is.
I-
You know, she has some
Yeah, because
connections.
Ally's got a little push and pull, so.
Yeah.
I'm curious, because I also know, my grandmother has been deceased for a while. However, in her senior living community, there were buses that would take seniors out into the community. Is that something where we could work with the establishments to see if they would be willing to transport folks to the Golden Hour,
So like.
Golden Game Hour?
I'm sorry, I don't ever remember the name of the location right here on 56 and or Franklin Road. But they have a bus. If there's enough, what's it called?
Green Tree.
There you go.
So if they have enough residents interested in coming, then they will
Okay.
transport them. So I think it's about the number of people that are willing to.
Gotcha.
Because their bottom line is still the bottom line. They gotta make sure it's
Right.
worth their while. Yep, I
We can hold
understand.
150 people in the community center, and we'll do it if they come.
Yes.
If you build it, they will come.
We want 150 folks there.
I mean, absolutely.
I want you screwing up in reverse, so that's all I
Play all the
ask.
games. We'll play all the games.
Eric may
I'm
get a
happy to
chance
be
to play
Vanna.
Tiddlywink game.
We could stay in there all day if we had 150 people. So,
Anything else for Eric?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One more thing about, I know we brought this up informally last week, but, you know, I want to put it on the record again, that I think our employees deserve a raise. And, you know, I want to see something done about that. You know, anything we can do, and I don't know all the possibilities, but if it deserves to happen.
I'm going to piggyback on Mr. Burns' comments there. I know the utility employees got hourly raises and no one else in, you gotta leave out, you know, public safety, but, you know, our goal is retention and hiring, and we're falling behind drastically. And I think the reason why we're able to provide what services we can is because of pure loyalty. Ronnie, glad to have him back. And Bob and the gang, I was back there. Mr. Martin looked at my truck the other day and he wept when he did. But we have such loyal employees, such a small staff. But the starting salary, being able to retain our employees, guys, we've added a beautiful civic plaza, a cultural campus, and the demand to, you know, on top of what we provide annually with soccer and baseball, football, blah, 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 and festival. It's laughable what these employees, and I'm going to use the word laughable, what they are paid annually and their annual increases. I'm starting to think this is 2011 with teacher salary increases, and we continue to fall further and further behind. And something's got to give. And it really does. Or we're going to lose them, and me, Eric, and Dee in our short britches are going to be out weed eating in July. I have good legs still, but I don't want to be weed eating on a 100-degree day in August. So, Eric, the budget's already in for the year, but, and I know the geniuses at the State House are going to make it tougher for us, but holy hell,
We'll do some calculations and
something's got to give.
we'll bring back some recommendations.
I mean, they're busting their cans, and I'm very territorial. When people know me well enough, you can't police yourself out of a bad situation. You can't do that. Jimmy Hennigan's street crew, they do their gig, but I'm territorial with our park guys because I grew up with them. We all went to school together, and they're doing things that the city expects. Cancel the 4th of July parade and fireworks. See what happens. Good luck. Yeah, you cancel them and see what happens. Cancel OYO baseball season and see what happens. So it's, unless you have a crisis, and you don't want to get to that point, something's got to give.
Yeah, according to the year-end report from the Controller's Office, they increased the reserve fund for the general fund by about $1.5 million, I think. it's over $9 million now, so, you know, they're not broke. I mean, I know that there's probably gonna be problems in the future, and, you know, we're looking at some of those, but, you
Yep.
know, now's now. We gotta be looking at paying the employees a decent amount of money.
Because we got most of our folks that work, well, other than, you know, Ronnie and Bob are close to us. We're not at, nobody's signing up for this gig.
No, it's hard to find employees and retain,
It
so.
is.
May I,
The Parks Department underspent our budget, didn't we, by quite a
We
bit?
did. We did.
What didn't we spend money on?
I'd have to go back and look at the final number, but I think we were about 85%.
Yeah, it's like 82%.
82%.
Yep.
I mean, I know how the state of Indiana balances its budgets through the action called remittances. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors what they do. We got all this money back. It's just simply you're told not to spend it. I don't care whoever's been in power, but holy hell. You know, because you have low taxes don't attract people. Quality of service attracts people to your community. Plain and simple. You don't have to be a rocket surgeon.
Mr. President,
Go ahead, sir.
are there summer jobs for youth and things of that nature that you guys tap into to help? You mentioned like how to work with the trails, do the work on the
We
trails?
do. We
Okay.
allocate funds for about 5 maintenance employees, and then
Seasonal summer hire,
employees,
okay.
yeah, so-
You know them, send them our way.
Yes, sir.
So
Okay.
we can start taking applications for that anytime, so.
You know them, bring them.
I agree with increase for city employees. Government employees never get enough. They deserve far more. Speaking from an educator, it's the same thing for us. I did, on another topic, I noticed that on February 26th, we have Black History Month celebration. Could you share a little bit about what that will entail?
What are our events coming up? That was going to be my next question. All the fun stuff. 99% of the time it's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Black History
Black History
celebration.
Month will be February 26th from 7 to 8 at Theater at the Fort.
Okay.
So right here off of Otis. So Arts for Lawrence and the city is partnering to bring that to the city. February, March. We don't really have anything except for our Golden Game days scheduled in March. And then April, we will do Cleanup Day and the relaunch of Lawrence is Beautiful. And we will do the health fair as well. And then I know that we're bringing back a shredded day also. I just got the dates yesterday. I think it's May 15th and, nope, it's March 15th. So March, we'll have a shredded day, March 15th.
Is that
10 to
here?
1. It'll be a Belzer.
Bells are okay.
And then in November 1st, from 10 to 1 also, it's also a Saturday. So it'll also be a Belzer, and that's being done by Crime Stoppers.
Real quick, Eric, do you know when the Little League baseball kicks off and anything's big with FC Pride?
OYO starts the
April the 12th.
12th, and then I think Fall Creek is the 26th.
2 weeks later. Okay, and then FC Pride have anything big in April?
They'll have their May tournament, so. but-
Okay, nothing big in April. Just don't wish our lives away.
I was just going to say, the social media, I think, is outstanding in a way to really reach the masses. I am wondering if there's a way, just thinking again from the school, wearing the school hat, is do we communicate with the school district about things that, I know sometimes I see it on News You Can Use from the township, but I'm also wondering, school-based newsletters, just to let folks know, because some events, we have a plethora of students and folks from the township, and then other events, I'm really kind of surprised that we don't have the same level of engagement. So just thinking through, what are some ways that we might be able to communicate?
I would be happy to talk to you about that.
Okay.
Because I have.
Okay, and so maybe that's, again, something that you and I can collaborate on, because they're just, one of the reasons I love Lawrence so much is because of everything that this city has to offer in such diverse activities and opportunities. And so just, I want everybody to be able to participate and enjoy.
Yes, I'd be happy to talk to you, not here.
I hear you,
But
Jamie.
I will, Eric, does Eric have everybody's email addresses?
Yes.
So we will just, I will send the most up-to-date events calendar
There you go.
to Eric, and then he can send it out to all of
Circulate it.
you. So then you, look at that. She doesn't need it. But that is
That was
everything that's
last
going on. The only things that we're gonna add are the, health fair and the Crime Stopper days will be on there, so the
Good.
shredded days will also be added on there. But Wednesday, please come and join us, 7 to 8 at, Theater at the Fort. We'll be there.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Oh, we have one more farmer's market next Thursday from 4 to 7. Winter market from 4 to 7 in this building. Thank you.
Thank you, kiddo. Thank y'all. Oh, I gotta put my old man glasses on. I cannot wear bifocals. I'm a detriment to myself. Eric, do you have anything you wish to add?
Just the master plan for the community park master plan review. We're putting that steering committee together, so if there's anybody from the board that wants to commit a couple meetings, we'd love to have you. So I'll send an invitation of the dates, and if you want to participate, you can.
I made contact with a cat, so I'm a part of that, so don't make contact with a cat ever.
Remind me about what's going on.
Okay, the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority paid for a master plan focused specifically on Community Park, which is our largest park, most used park, and putting together, Eric and I met with, is it REA?
Yes.
REA and Heather Milligan, who is currently the administrative director of the FHRA, a couple, 3 weeks ago. And, excuse me, we are looking at stakeholders at Community Park right now. We've included, that is Ms. Freeman's district, correct?
It is.
Fall Creek, FC Pride, excuse me, couple folks, Miss Jamie Roman from the administration. We're looking at others, how to, I'll go ahead and say it, it's kind of a spin-off of the last administration, how to better utilize Community Park for different things, but with getting away from stick and ball activities, which our parks were focused on, and I'll be honest, a way to raise revenue for our parks. And we're working with REA. They're coming up with a master plan potentially to enhance revenues for our parks. Obviously, the bottom line is going to be money. Can we do this? A, can we build it? B, can we maintain it? And we've met once, and now we're at the point where we have stakeholders. What would you like to see out here? And we met a couple weeks ago and kicked it off. Now we're inviting participants who want to express what they see our needs and wants. Bottom line still goes back to money. As long as we're under the guise of Unigov, it's going to make the world much harder for us as an excluded city.
So is a consultant getting paid for this? Is that, well, so that was the thing you brought to us, and then we took it off the table, and now it's done?
That was for the 3 parks. The Reuse Authority
Right.
went ahead and paid for Community Park.
But we never got a say in that. The board never got a say in that.
No, it was signed by the Reuse Authority.
My pushback for us, Tom, was originally they looked at the 3 parks. The only park, I'll save editorial comment, the only park within the Reuse Authority purview is Community Park. So they had to narrow it down. And my complaint I had with the Reuse Authority, they never brought it before their board. It was an executive director who's no longer there, signed off on it. It went before their board. And they approved spending the dollars to do a master plan just of Community Park. And they are now wanting the stakeholders who primarily use it, or maybe folks beyond the privy of that park.
Yeah, my concern is, and it was before,
Right.
that if we create unrealistic expectations for people, because, yeah, there's lots of things I'd like to see done, But, you know, we don't have much money to do it with. We can't even get the parking lot paved over at Community Park. So, you know, we're asking for a bunch more things? You know, to me, we got the cart before the horse here.
Tom, I'll be blunt.
I'm not real pleased about this whole situation.
I'll be blunt and honest with you. I know what the wants are. You and I have been around for every administration except for one. Tons of wants and gets. I think we need to put this on paper, and whatever happens beyond, it is a bunch of wants.
Yeah, I just don't.
But we're not paying for that.
You know, I don't want a group of people to come in and say, well, you said this, and now we want this done.
Well, we got that already with youth leagues because we've been unable to meet their wants that currently exist, and we all know being able to maintain what we already got is tough, and
Maintaining's number one thing on my list.
we've been juggling chainsaws to get our largest parking lots paid for 5 years, so I like the idea. This is what we are doing. I'm going to be honest again. The Unigov model is outdated, and it's choking us.
Well, let's bring up another thing, Dan. The Board of Works just approved rehiring the lobbyists. They're gonna pay money for those lobbyists.
Yes.
And are they doing anything about this? I haven't heard, you know, they came and made a presentation at the council, but they didn't say anything. Wasted the council's time.
Not
So,
one.
you know, if they're gonna do that, well, you know, I wanna see some money coming from Unigov.
Yep, and we subsidize Indianapolis with our youth sports league, and it's been that way since, from Richard Lugar to Joe Hogsett. We continue to subsidize Indianapolis, and until the state legislators, and more importantly, the folks that represent the city of Lawrence, decide that Lawrence can stand on its own 2 feet,
I was gonna say, I don't think it's all clear that we couldn't make an agreement with the city of Indianapolis to do this. I don't know that we need the legislature. They didn't prove that to me. You can make interlocal agreements to do stuff.
we've done it before. What was our last interlocal agreement when HUD met with mayor?
Building the community center.
Building community center.
So that, you know, you can do it.
We need to reach out, like I said, Ally Brown, Nick Roberts represent us out here on the city council, and I think that's what's got to happen. They have to realize how Lawrence provides activities to the residents of the city of Indianapolis overwhelmingly. There's nothing Indianapolis offers their citizens on the northeast side of Marion County. I'll be blunt. Show me something what they offer. We have Som Park, and it remained closed during COVID and the first year after COVID. And you still, as a citizen of Lawrence, had to pay their admission to get in there. And we don't, you know, hell, if you got a kid who wants to play baseball or soccer or football or rent a building, come on down. I think we have to actively engage with the administration to get those folks to realize City of Lawrence can stand on its own 2 feet. We already have that issue of, you know, street and paving and all of that. It's time for us, and the last administration brought it up. I think this administration really needs to take it to the next level. There will be a new mayor in Indianapolis in the next election, so I think we need to take the opportunity to state our situation.
Well, we need to do that.
Yep, and be active. You know, Ms. Brown is the majority leader on the city-county council, so she carries a heavy influence, and I think we have to take advantage of that. This city has always, this current administration, all the others before, have acted beyond what's expected of them. They have, plain and simple. The fact that the folks that work for this city don't have hernias from the lift they have to put through that take care of not only the city of Lawrence, but Lawrence Township's 120,000 plus people is beyond. People don't realize what goes on in this city. 99% good. And damn it, we need to squeeze those people who are living off our goodwill, primarily getting elected.
I'm skeptical about our whole approach to this planning. You know, I mean, the master plan, I'm concerned because I just think.
The perception.
Unrealistic expectations.
I agree.
It can be something that we don't have the money to do, and, you know, people then,
We are not Carmel where we can build a civic center and a palladium and the like.
we're not Carmel, we're not gonna be Carmel, and it.
Hell, we're not Greenfield,
So,
but we're beholden to Big Brother right now.
yeah, I don't know.
I will represent us on that, and we will have stakeholders. And I'll be honest, in our first meeting, Eric and I quietly said, these are great ideals, but,
Yeah, and that's my concern,
yeah.
but, you know.
I love my parks department, but we have issues beyond parks that have to be addressed, and I
But
understand.
maybe with some objectives and some real numbers attached to it, Tom, maybe we can look at other funding sources in
Now,
Indianapolis.
you know,
Maybe there's some other partnerships.
I'm not saying don't ever do those things.
Right.
I'm just saying, don't plan a whole bunch of things that.
Correct.
There's no way it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Mr. Martin, any old business? Colleagues, any old business? If not, we got several agreements here. Eric, you may want to share with our new folks. What's our CCA 25 use agreement? Who is CCA and what the heck are we doing?
CCA is
Circle City.
Circle City Athletics.
What
It's
Dee
a-
said.
An adult,
Don't say themed.
no, it's an adult youth or adult programs that play pickleball and softball at our Lee Road Park. The agreement is for Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings. They use 4 courts, March the 25th through October 31st, so it's all season, all year long. They've been a very good partner for us, and bring in about $2,000 or $3,000, and more than that.
And how big of a pushback have we had? 'Cause pickleball, I tell you, never played the game in my life, and when the mayor said he wanted to build pickleball courts, Joe Murphy and I said he was high, and holy hell, he wasn't high.
Not at all.
And,
It-
and
It's-
I don't get it, I never will, but,
We provide notice. It's also put on our social media pages that 4 courts are being used. So there's always 4 courts open to the public to use.
how much pushback have we got? Have they gotten over the fact?
They've gotten over
Okay.
over that.
That they can only
Oh,
have
that-
4.
I mean, territorial. Oh,
I
geez,
know.
geez.
I play out there too.
There you go. I'd never played it. Like I said, Joe Murphy, when he said he wanted to invest $800,000, we thought he had fallen off the wagon or something, and
Genius.
So it's on-
genius.
It's on our annual, or our boilerplate agreement form, and it provides those dates to CCA for 2025.
Questions? It's not anyone. The newbies? Anyone? Go
They
ahead.
were only 2 days a week last year.
No, it's 3 days
Were they?
also
Okay.
last year, yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays.
Tracking. So
And
they're
then
just asking
softball's
for
on-
just
A continuation.
continuation from last year.
Yes,
And then the VFW also is asking for Monday. Is this
That's
new
a-
business also?
that's not on our agenda, but I was going to ask about
Track.
that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Softball,
Okay, well,
Softball is at Lee Road Park also on Tuesdays.
does anybody else use the softball other than Little League teams showing up wanting to play out there? No.
they're using the big field, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's not.
How much revenue do we get from this partnership with Circle City Athletics?
Well,
From between softball and the pickleball.
do you remember what it was last year?
It was like 5,000 for the fall, maybe 4,000 for the spring, summer.
So
Because
close
I
to
do
10,000
wonder-
for the year?
In not, I mean, again, I know that this is the city of Lawrence Parks, but if we also are thinking about revenue streams of how much money they are collecting and making off of their programs versus how much we are actually receiving as, for use of those facilities. So if they're charging folks $100 potentially to play in their league, and they're generating, let's say, $20,000,
Yeah.
and we're getting a fourth of that, is that, I guess I'm just wondering how we determine what percentage the city is receiving.
Well, we do it on a set hourly rate for the court rental. We don't we don't receive a portion
Per
of their-
person.
of their proceeds. And when we looked at that agreement, we sat down with CCA, and that's what they pay us is generally what they pay Indianapolis or Noblesville, Westfield. So it was pretty flat amount.
So are we comparable with those other communities, what they're paying per hour?
As far as we know, yeah.
Possibly, let's dig down a little bit, let's see what their agreements are in those Noblesville, Indy type of, I don't want to be the, Forrest Gump taking advantage of community here. So obviously, I'm very pro folks are using that facility, but let's make sure we're on the same level.
I was going to ask also, was there an increase from last year to this year? Just a,
There was not.
okay.
No. It's-
Was there an increase that CCA is charging their teams to play?
I can look.
That would be something to look at. If they're raising their rates per team or per individual, I don't know, they're prorating, let's make sure that if they went up 20%, we could go up 10%.
Trying to find those raises.
There you
I know that they asked for those, so they could get their spring
Right.
program out, so.
In other words, we might not be able to touch this now. I mean, do you think we're too far along to?
No, we haven't approved it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I'd like for us to read, and then you can throw rocks at me. I'd like to know what their new revenues, rates are for this year as compared to last year before we have an action on this. We can come back, because we only got a couple weeks before we're back together again. I don't see this body saying no to them, but, if they're raising their participation rates 10, 20%, well, we should be able to reflect some of those increased costs that we can benefit from. So I'd like to table that motion. I don't have my damn glasses on. For both the softball and the, whatever the heck, pickleball thing is, and we can come back in March because I just want to see those numbers.
They do start in March, though.
Okay, they may start, but I don't want to sell ourselves short, so that's an ASAP thing. If we have to, we can meet real quick, as long as we have 3 members and everybody feels comfortable. If they up at 10%, we need to up our receipts at least 5%. So I'm just telling you that there. I don't mind anybody making $1 million. I want to make at least $500,000.
well, or would the board rather just set rates at a higher amount?
Unless, I don't want to just be randomly doing it. Let's reach out, CCA agreements, find out what their rate agreements are with other communities going into 25, and make sure they have agreements that are signed for 25. I don't want them pending agreements. I don't want anything hanging out. I want definitive. I don't care if we come last across the line in this. I just want to make sure we understand what those other communities are bringing in.
Okay. Is that the same with GGA?
Yes.
GAA?
Yep. You guys feel good with that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, go ahead with it. I know what you're saying, that, we've kind of made a deal with them.
Increase it next year. I mean, if we're already down that path, I was kind of thinking too. And I'm looking at their website now.
Okay, it's going to say, you're digging.
90 per team. And you don't know, I mean, off the top of the head, how many teams they had.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so
But,
90 per team.
Done the homework. I'll have faith. Go ahead.
I do think, I agree that I think that it is, and I asked the question as a new member, so I appreciate that. But I also think the timing, I agree with Tom, the time, we've already have an agreement, and so.
They're good folks to work with.
Right.
They've been
And I don't want to stick it to them. We got
Exactly,
folks
the 11th
using
hour.
that park.
And so I think what would be potentially, though, is a wondering is, could we look at all of the contracts that we have with various organizations to compare that to what other folks are charging? And is there a world, because we do know inflation is a real thing that's happening, and I've heard just in a short time that we have some desires of things that we'd like to do, and somehow generating those funds, could it be by increasing some of the costs that we are receiving from various partners?
Again, I know this is the third year they've been at this rate, so
I'm going to reach out to you guys to see what they're charging. And I don't disagree. If you guys are comfortable, this isn't the end of the world here, but I just want to see where their rates have gone over the last 3 years. And they need to be told going forward that we are looking at recoup additional monies as their rates increase.
well, I think they'd understand that, yeah.
Yeah, they've been really good to work with, and I just want folks out there using the park as much as
Exactly.
anything. So with that being said, I'm going to combine these two motions. Now, Eric, share with the new members who the GAA is.
Gaelic Athletic Association, so they play
Yes, that's right.
Gaelic hurling and,
It's insane.
Yes.
I think it's a reason to get together and drink beer. I'm not anti getting together just to drink beer, I'll be honest with you. But they have been very good partners. They clean up. You go out there and watch them, you'll do a lot of, And most of them do it in kilts. Most of them wear undergarments, but I can't vouch for the ones that don't, nor will I. I'm non-judgmental. I'm 5 foot nothing with red hair. Pardon?
Helen said she was gonna go as a spectator now.
And I want a review there, Miss Helen. But they've been really great and fun. It's another unique opportunity. And they play at the Burns football fields there at 56th Street and Franklin Road. They've been great. Eric, anything else you want to add?
no, but their rates have been the same for, probably 3 years.
Okay. But if you ever want to go out there and they find out you're associated with the city of Lawrence and some, they'll treat, I've been out there, I went out a couple of times last year. I think they purposely were trying to get me drunk because they thought we were just the greatest thing on the planet. That's all they could offer, but they have been really good. I've coached 43 years, running around in a kilt, and I'm Scottish, so what the hell. With that being said, I would entertain a motion the City of Lawrence Parks Department enter into agreements with the Circle City Athletic and Gaelic Athletic Association for 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We have folks from United Consulting. Come on down and tell us why you're here. This young lady,
And in the agreement,
I've been, feels like you've been around forever.
look at the agreement for.
It has been a great partnership, and this goes back, former ministry, current. And if you want to meet somebody, if you want to take a master's course in what we're doing with Fall Creek Trail and anything, she has the patience of Job.
Oh.
You're on.
He's kind. No, I love working with Lawrence. It's been wonderful so far. Now, while United Consulting is not the designer on the Fall Creek Trail, I'm always happy to answer questions that you have as best as I can. So I know we have a current agreement on the table there to do some right-of-way engineering at that, where the Lee Road Trail that was just completed this past year is connecting to the future Fall Creek Trail. Correct. Right there at the corner of Lee and 63rd, so.
And I'm going to interrupt you, because I've been around here doing this way too long. The new trail that she's talking about, we have the short trail and the long trail. That's how I identify them. The short trail is the 65th Street Trail that goes east.
Yes.
And then the long trail is the second next level trail grant we got that goes down Lee Road and will go up Fall Creek Road. And if the newbies want to sit and chat with me, we can get together. So we're juggling a whole lot here. Go.
Yes, so that corner where the new pedestrian crossing has been put in this past year is going to the crosswalk and that curb ramp
Thank you.
is right there at the Fort Park right-of-way is really abuts that location, so there's really not a lot of working room there. So the intent for this agreement is to acquire a little bit of, basically easement, working room from the park.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, which
install-
side of Lee Road are we?
Yeah, so we're on the west side of
Got
Lee
it,
Road.
thank you, ma'am.
Yep. And so it's just to acquire some working room there so that they can do the connection to the Fall Creek Trail there. It's not gonna require a lot, really.
No.
But enough so that we don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about encroaching into the park without the proper
And if
documentation.
anyone asks, currently, the state of Indiana has no intent, currently, the state of Indiana has no intention of adding an additional gate there on that east side of the state park for entry. My cross-country kids enter that part of the park on a regular basis to run. Did say it was right or wrong, and just being honest. Okay, now we're back to live streaming. But it is in the future, it's not been denied that the state may add a future east side gate to the state park entrance.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on it, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, there are no intentions currently to.
And
get
Eric,
that
what's
to
the amount
state
here?
Park.
$3,850 for the additional.
And it comes out of which,
It will come out of the existing grant that we have now with the Next Level Trail 3, which this is one of the last expenditures on that agreement, so.
right? Question? Being none, I would entertain a motion that we get this easement completed and complete the opening of this trail.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
The
Go ahead, Eric.
the next one's with Resolution Group. It is the extended, the longer
The long trail.
long trail, the Lee Road Trail. And this is for a hydraulic analysis. So the original thought was they wouldn't have to do a hydraulic analysis of the project. But it's going through some of the floodplains, so they have to do that.
And if you've been on Lee Road lately, and as a matter of fact, if you were at 71st and Lee Road yesterday, and then going, I taught geography, I don't know any directions, Jesus God. Going north on Fall Creek, more or less.
North and east.
They had already begun doing core samples on Lee Road, and right there at 71st and Lee Road, before you turn right onto Fall Creek, they had a second core drilling, a piece of machinery there doing core samples. So, and that is, Eric, identifying wetland or remediating wetland?
That is just doing soil sampling to find out compaction levels and how much material they'll have to add, and, you know, if there's suitable soils for the trail. So that's
And
again,
believe,
I'm not an engineer, but that's,
you play one in
that's the
TV.
general idea, is whether the trail can be built. There's no quicksand or anything.
And the cost of that?
The wetland, the hydraulic analysis is additional $45,000, and that's funding through the Lilly grant, the $2.1 million that we've received from the Lilly grant. That's,
And Eric,
all the design work is being done through the Lilly grant.
and for our new folks, the partnerships to do, I call the Long Trail, involve the City of Lawrence, City of Indianapolis, the Lilly Foundation, I'm missing how many groups,
There were several,
Fort Harrison Reuse Authority pledged monies to this. At the end, the project is going to be in the range of $7 million.
7.2.
Yeah, 7.2 million. And the City of Lawrence is, we are overseeing the grant, making Eric's gray hair turn to white, to make sure that this actually happens. And when we were going through this, it was a master class in grant writing. I learned more than, I thought I was smart, and I was dumber than a doorknob. And the steps to get the grant and then the process going through this. We're only at the permitting stage, correct, Eric, or the investigative stage?
We're about 60% through the design, but yeah, this is where the permits are issued to the federal government to find out, and some of those they were taking 18 months, but now they're 6 to 10 months, 6 to 9 months. So we're still on a time frame of bidding this fall, but it's going to be close. That's why this is an important aspect we have to get done, and so we can get to that bidding process.
And I'm going to go ahead and say, as far as parks for the city of Lawrence, this is the most significant. Eric and I have been around the park system for 40 years. So this is our most significant park expenditure, most complicated. We want parking lots, we want scoreboards and lights. Getting to that point's easy compared to this. This involves so many moving parts. Indianapolis, I will bitch, moan, complain about Indianapolis and Unigov for some things, but they have been unbelievable partners in this, working from their DPW, their Parks Department. They've been awesome, plain and simple. Kind of how government should work, bipartisan. No one can complain about your buddy or friend except for you. They've been nothing but awesome to work with, and this is just another step. So, any question? Being none, I would ask for a resolution for agreement for hydraulic analysis for, I'll call it the Long Trail.
It's the Fall Creek Extension.
Fall Creek Extension. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And lastly, we've got a request from the VFW 7119 to do a Monday evening tournament at the pickleball courts, June the 2nd through August the 25th, for a 12-week with a 1-week break during July 4th holiday. And evidently, this gentleman knows the rules and regulations because he refers to the DER skill rating, which I'm not sure what that is.
Duper.
Duper. So we don't have an agreement and formulated, but I would ask that you approve this, and then we'll put it on the agreement form and make sure they have the insurance and everything needed.
We are going to waive fees, correct?
I don't think so. It's a fundraiser for.
Oh, okay.
For the auxiliary or for the post, so I don't know that we will.
Do they understand that there are fees to rent the facility?
I told them there were fees, so I explained the fee levels to them.
Okay.
Is there a nonprofit rate or
We haven't done that for a long time. I mean, the board could certainly adjust those rates if for,
What do we what?
it's $8 an hour per
Oh,
court.
jeez.
So it's $24 an hour, and they want 2 hours, so that's $48
Oh.
a night,
I don't have a
for
problem.
12 weeks?
12
I
weeks.
do not have a problem. Just I don't want it to be a burden, but also like ownership. Because our goal is, we'd love to have 8 more pickleball courts. I wish to be 5 inches taller, but there's a lot of things I want.
Like everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this, they're hoping that the participants come back to
Right.
the cantina.
And they can more than make up for it, a couple cold Bud Lights.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Make up
The
for like,
idea of an adult league.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, $48, you said 2 hours for 12 weeks, right?
Yeah, $48 a week, so.
Okay.
$600 at the most.
There you go.
There you go.
Give or take.
Yep. Question? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Pickleball away. I still have not played a game of pickleball.
Good
Well,
job.
maybe you need to join the,
Oh, real quick, because I was between here and Bloomington, Indiana on January 8th, or was I? I don't know where it was. All right, we need, and you, the newbies, you can't vote on this. Me, Tom, I entertain a motion to accept the minutes from January 8th, 2023. The lovely Miss Puckett was here at that time. I've read through them. If there's no additions, subtractions, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes of January 8th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Sign them. Public? James? Anyone?
Where's our public?
We have fun. We need controversy. Hell, just sit up here and nothing in their drawers. There you go.
We need to have.
Glad to have our newbies on board. We had a full board. I'm glad to see your bones.
Thank you.
We're done.